welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer and today I am doing the Netflix book tag. I wasn't tagged by anybody, but I wanted to do this tag, so I will link the original creator of this tag down in the description below. So the first question is recently watched. What is the most recent book that you finished reading? And for me, that is Cologne's Fall. It's a novella off of the House of Night series by PC and Kristen Cass. I did not enjoy this book. That's all that needs to be said. Number 2 is Top Picks. A book or books that have been recommended to you based on books you have previously read. And honestly, I don't have any books for this question. I really haven't had people recommend me books based off of something I told them I read before, although, like, you know, Barnes & Noble gives you books you might like on your receipt when you purchase stuff, and so does Goodreads, but I think it's only, I don't know how they determine the recommended things, but I don't really pay attention to those because I feel like a lot of those recommended books are based on books I haven't read yet. I don't know if I'm gonna like those books or not, so I don't have an answer for this question. Number 3 is recently added, The Last Book That You Bought, and the most recent 2 books I bought, I purchased at the same time. And that is Sex Plus by Lacey Green. I got a signed copy. And Come As You Are, The Surprising New Science That Will Transform Your Sex Life by Emily Nagoski, who has a PhD. Why I bought 2 sex books at the same time? I don't know, but I did. Number 4 is popular on Netflix. Books that everybody knows about. 2 you have read, or 2 you haven't read or have no interest in reading. And my 2 books that everybody knows about is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern and The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I do not have examples of the other 2 books because these 2 books are books that I have no interest reading, and those 2 books are The Cruel Prince and Six of Crows. That series, not interested. Number 5 is Comedies, a funny book, and again, I do not have an answer for this one. I feel kind of bad. I've read books that have humor in it or a satire, but for me, a funny book is a book that's actually made me laugh out loud, and so far there hasn't been any books that have made me laugh out loud. Books have made me snicker or giggle, but not actually laugh, so... And I don't really read a whole bunch of comedies. Anything that's even close to comedy would be satire books, but those aren't always necessarily funny. Number 6, drama. A character who is a drama king or queen. Do I need to say anything? Number 7, animated. Books with a cartoon cover on it, or animated. And I had this tiny book of tiny stories. It's super cute. I only own the first volume. I want the rest, and it continues with the cute cartoon drawings on the inside. Number 8, Watch It Again. A book or book series that you want to reread. And I want to reread all of the Ellen Hopkins books that I own. I pulled out Impulse because this was the very first Ellen Hopkins books I ever read when I was a teenager. And I'm pretty sure I own most of her books. The only book that I know that I don't own of hers is Triangles, and I believe that one was marketed as an adult book and not as a young adult book. But her stories are written in poem formats. Some of the pages are actual poems themselves, but most of them are compiled in a way that just tell a story. This one is about 3 suicidal teenagers that are in a mental hospital getting help. Number 9, Documentaries, a nonfiction book you would recommend to everyone. And that would be Escape from Camp 14 by Blaine Harden. This book is about a young man who escaped from a concentration camp in North Korea. He's pretty much born in this concentration camp, and the reason why his family is in it is something like his great-grandfather did or something. And Korea punishes family of those who committed a crime because somehow you are responsible for somebody else's actions in Korea. But this book is really hard to read. There's a couple of characters that die, and this is something that actually happened in North Korea that they refuse to acknowledge. And this is a pretty good book. I had to read it for one of my English classes when I first started college, so I really enjoyed this book. Number 10 is Action and Adventure, an action-packed book. I wanted to grab Darren Shawn's Demonata series, which is like a young teenager book. I don't want to say young adult because I think it's like in between middle grade and young adult. It's like that in between. It's kind of like, there's a lot of fighting in there, but there's also like body horror because it's about demons and stuff. But I really don't know if that's classified as action. So I just grabbed The Hunger Games because I don't think I've read a whole bunch of action books. Number 11 is New Releases, a book that just came out or will be coming out soon and you can't wait to read. I'm gonna be real with you guys, I do not buy new releases very often unless it's from a series I'm currently collecting. Like the most recent book that I bought from a ongoing series, which I can't find on the back behind me, is The Merciless, and I believe that was book 4 that I recently bought. But any new books I buy immediately go onto backstock. So the most recent new release book that I bought that's like the first in a series is 3 Dark Crowns. I'm not gonna say I'm like can't wait to read because again I backlist all of my books. It doesn't matter how new the book is, it doesn't matter how excited I am to read it. 9 times out of 10 I will wait to read it. And number 12 is Max, Tag People. So I am tagging 3 people. I'm tagging Charlie Brooke, Mindy's Book Journey, and Emma from Muggle Glamour. So yes, if I did not tag you but you would still like to do this tag, please feel free to do it. Consider yourself tagged. That's all for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you again next time. Bye.